Yes, I am live. If anybody else can confirm that, that would be great. We
Says
are
live.
live. Okay, good. So, guys, this is it. We've been talking about this for a long time. Getting this podcast, this live stream together, and we're finally doing it. We've got me, Marc Unger, Ron Juckett, joining us today to play some baseball later, assuming that all the computers in the universe don't crash. Michael Catastreri, John Turnbull, Daniel Evanson, Jeff Giordano. I mean, these are legends. And we're all really happy. Pesky Pole couldn't make it. His kids, like, do you guys follow Pesky Pole and his
Yeah, his kids are amazing.
Yeah, right. And they're always playing, like they all play different sports, and he has to go to all their games all the time.
Well, some of them I think are going to be college bound at some point and play. I mean, he actually was the number 3 quarterback on the South Carolina Gamecocks depth chart out of high school.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, he had an injury. He had an injury or something, didn't he?
Maybe we should be streaming their games.
Right.
He was a top-notch quarterback out of Rochester, New York.
Wow.
In high school, and got a scholarship to go sit on the bench and drink Gatorade. He'll love me for saying that, but
so to kind of start things off here, Ron and I did James Cast's podcast, and so I'm going to be covering some ground that some of you may have already heard, but we're putting together a documentary called Box Scores from the Basement. Really sort of the genesis of the idea. It goes back about 5 years during the pandemic when I first started to listen to Ron and to Dave Gardner and their podcast Digital to Dice. I didn't even know that there was a community for sports sim gaming. I really didn't. And I'd been playing these games, pretty consistently since I was, 10 or 11 years old. I'm a comedian by trade and an actor and a writer and all that stuff. And I would bring these games with me. I remember very specifically being in Indianapolis, working a gig, a really good comedy club that I can't remember the name of now. Wise Guys, I think it was called. And at that time, I had a project where I put together a team made up of black players from the 1970s. So it was like Joe Morgan at second. You could figure out probably who Reggie Jackson. And I sent them back in time to 1946, the year before Jackie Robinson, right? Because Robinson's 47. And I did like a barnstorming tour where I had them play 3 games. So I'm doing that project while I'm doing comedy. And I remember being during the first show, thinking to myself, I got to wrap this up because I got to. They're playing the Braves or whatever it was, and so that's been this hobby has been my passion for a very long time, and so I'm listening to Ron and to Dave, and I'm learning about this community, and it occurred to me with the history of it and APA and Strad and all the games that have come and Ethan Allen and All-Star Baseball and National Pastime and all the stuff a lot of us know about. It seemed like there's a documentary there, but I couldn't really even a documentary has to tell a story, a good documentary. And I didn't know really what that story was, and then I cut to maybe, what do you think, Ron, 4 or 5 months ago now when you and I first
just before Christmas, we started talking about it. Yeah.
I've watched so many of Ron's broadcasts over the years, and I've been in situations where listening to Ron's voice has actually helped me emotionally. Our dog died, Rupert, who we'd had for 16 years. And my wife and I hopped in the car and just headed south to sort of escape our anguish or to try to begin to heal. And all I did, and God bless my wife, she let me do it. All I did was listen to Ron's broadcast, like almost exclusively for, 20 hours back, all the well, probably more than that. So I thought about Ron, and I thought about the healing power of this hobby, the joy that it gives us, the camaraderie that, we all hopefully experience from it and have experienced. And then I thought about Ron as a broadcaster, and I know a guy because I was in radio in Baltimore for several years. I did sports talk radio. I did actually I hosted a political show on a station in Baltimore. I was actually the pregame host or co-host for the Ravens flagship station the year they won the Super Bowl. And the guy who was my co-host was a guy named Brett Hollander, who's now one of the play-by-play guys for the Baltimore Orioles. So I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could facilitate Ron being able to actually broadcast maybe an inning or two of an Orioles game? Reached out to Brett. He loved the idea. We both agreed that ultimately it made more sense for Ron because he's not an Orioles fan. He's a Red Sox fan, to try to reach out to the Red Sox. So when I had that, because that's an arc, that is, a hero, in this case, Ron, going on a journey to achieve something, right? So when I had that, then everything else started to fall into place. Then it became about telling other people's stories and reaching out to the community. Reaching out far and wide out into the community to see who else might have an interesting story that could be aired as part of this documentary. So, hey guys, I should say hello to Dave Cook is with us. Sports Time Machine, David, and guys in the pod, you guys can feel free to, because you guys can see the same thing I can. I really don't want to be the leader. Like I know that I'm the StreamYard, but I've tried to emphasize this. I really want this to be about all of us. My background, most of you guys are probably better. I've never done a live stream before. I've done theater. I've done, films, television.
Well, something else for your resume.
Yeah. So, if you see something in the chat that you think should be discussed, by all means, just
Sure.
talk over me all you want is what I'm saying.
Congratulations on adding to your LinkedIn resume.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you see something, say something. And so I should call out Sports Time Machine with the University of Utah fanhood. I feel very sorry for you, but you're welcome anyway.
So I thought a nice way to start would be to go around the table here, the virtual table, and Ron excluded because you're not on the production side of things, and you're gonna be playing baseball with me for probably all night because it'll take us that long to figure out how to set it up. Oh, I'm glad Dave's here because we may need him later. But anyway, I'll start with you, Michael Canisteri. When I reached out to you and you saw sort of what I was, the treatment that I had put together, what were your thoughts and why were you, so willing to come on board?
Well, I thought it was a fascinating idea, and never really thought about the documentary. And then as you think about it, you said, well, it doesn't exist out there. And this community is a lot bigger than a lot of us think it is. We're all in our either basement or side room and playing the games. And you don't realize until you go to conventions, which is one of the things I've done, going to conventions and you meet people like you that share the same interest. And you meet some fascinating people. A lot of times the conventions are just you're playing games, but a lot of time it's sitting around in a lobby talking stories until 2:00 in the morning. So there's a lot of interest out there. And I thought this was just fascinating, that being able to reach out to the community and find those people, those interesting stories, and put it into a documentary is only going to help the community. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really cool and neat idea.
Yeah, and at some point I'll kind of read through. I posted on the Box Scores YouTube page, sort of the synthesized one-page treatment. What I'll do is I'll go through some of the more longer form stuff to really give you guys some insight, and we could probably post it. Well, first of all, we're going to have a website. And John, do you want to give us an update on the website, or did I just put you on the spot for absolutely?
Oh no, that's a good segue. So yeah, I'll be running the website for the documentary, and right now we've got the domain purchased. We've got the actual hosting service, and right now I'm just waiting for the domain to get transferred from where you purchased it to go into
right.
where our hosting is at. So once that's done, I've got the account all set up, ready to go, and then we'll be ready to kind of start shaping the web page. We can have links to the YouTube page, links to the Facebook page. When we start doing fundraising, we'll have links to that. So it'll kind of be a one-stop shop for anything that has to do with the with the documentary itself.
So the website is sort of the hub of everything.
Right. Yeah.
So since you're on mic now, so tell us why you chose to get involved in this craziness.
Well, I mean, me and you go back a few years now.
We do.
We are in a mutual diamond mine draft league.
You're the best commissioner in any league I've ever been in.
Well,
there's not a close second.
I appreciate that.
No, it's a fact.
I pride myself on my organizational skills, and when you have to do that, plus the gaming company that I've put together in the last 15 months without any organization, it wouldn't work. But let me backtrack here. Because the compliment threw me off rails.
Sorry.
No, yeah, me and Marc are in a diamond mined league that me and Jim Wheeler started back in 1992.
Whoa.
So yeah, SPB1 started with the 1954 season, and we're just now finishing 1988. So we've got 4 other seasons past baseball leagues going on right now. So you're in one of them. And I like the idea, like Mike says. I think there's a lot of closet gamers out there that that haven't either found us or haven't reached out and made themselves known. You look at how big the actual board gaming industry is, non-sports, and you got to figure we have a larger percentage of that pie than what we think there is out there. So
do people know what you do for as a profession?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Tell them. It's pretty. I think it's pretty fascinating.
No, I'm a retired Air Force meteorologist, and I work as a contract meteorologist right now. I'm the assistant site manager at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
So do meteorologists have to do push-ups?
Not after they retire, no.
How about one before they retire? Is there PT for meteorologists?
It's brain PT.
But you have a rank and everything, right? Like, yes.
Well,
what was your rank?
I had a line number for E7 for Master Sergeant when I retired. I retired back in 2002.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
So Daniel, how about you? Your entrance into this project and why you're going to be so helpful.
Yeah, so I'll just I'll put it pretty basically. I think this coincides with a lot of the goals and interests that I have. I've thought for quite some time now, a couple of years now that I've been active creating blog posts and videos and stuff like that, that it would be really nice if we could sort of expand as a community and get a lot of people who are sort of not into the world of baseball sims to learn about this stuff, become more interested in it, and so on and so forth. One of the things that I've learned over time is that there are a lot of people who have an interest in baseball gaming and talking about the history and stuff like that, who are not aware that this sort of stuff exists, or who find out about it and think this is just a whole bunch of strange games that overgrown children play. And I mean, maybe that is true about us, maybe it's not, I don't know. But the thing that I really like about this is that there's sort of this focus on trying to expand a little bit more, sort of expand the reach that we have and expand the way that these games can reach out to people. I've been playing since I was 6-7 years old, something like that. And as I've told people on my channel before, I kind of grew up with old copies of the APA Journal sitting around my house that my dad used to subscribe to. So all the Howard Alshkog era. So I mean, I'm used to reading stuff from the Golden Age, and the hope that I have is that we can take a lot of that goodness and those ideas and kind of put this together and sort of try to get this spread out to a wider audience so that more people can know about this stuff.
I think it's cool that, because I'm assuming that for you it was passed, that APA specifically was passed down from your father.
Yeah, yeah. My
know?
dad started playing in probably like 73 or 74 with APA football, with the board game with the 72 season. And then he moved over to basketball and then straight to baseball, since APA basketball is so infamous. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm pointing it out is because I think if I'm doing the math right here, a lot of us, like I'm 60, and I'm probably, I don't know, 60 is probably middle range plus, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
right. Daniel, you're quite a bit younger. So for you, you had the ability to have it passed down from your family member. For a lot of us, our family members didn't know about these games because
Right.
either, by the time APA was invented, they were already, 19, 20 or older and just never found them. So we had to find them for ourselves. But I think it's interesting. I love the idea of the father-son pass down, or mother-son, or mother-daughter, or, whatever the permutation is. That's great. So how about you, Jeff Giordano? Tell us about you and why you're have so many really cool guitars, by the way.
Also for
I'm assuming you
Daniel's
play.
a little Apple basketball here for those who need to see the thrill.
I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
I know a gentleman who actually has made it through seasons.
What?
Jerry Zajac. Yeah, but that's another story. When Marc approached with this story and this documentary, I'll like what Daniel said. I started an Apple football page completely on a nostalgia trip. I kind of, it's an unfortunate word, I guess, but back in January 2011, just when I was kind of between jobs as a lifelong journalist. Of course, media and print has changed, and we've all kind of gotten the digital one way or another. And this documentary is going to really, I hope, and we hope, address that broad base, not just of the community, as Daniel said, but really outside the statistics-based tabletop sports gaming world. And these games are really fascinating. There's a lot more than meets the eye. They've really evolved since the 50s, 60s, 70s. There are more games on the market probably now than ever, which we find with every passing convention. More designers like John Turnbull of Powder Blue Sports, who gave us this wonderful custom dice tower tray for our camp tournament.
S.T. Patrick is also a fairly recent game designer, right? I think.
Yep.
He doesn't go way back. Right.
He's gonna fix the basketball issues that we've had. But so we know that there are so many sports pages, and we've harped on this on our channel a lot, that there are so many sports fans out there who really lust after, they remember the AFL page, American Football League. We talked to Ange Caniglio about that. I mean, that league is like yesterday to these folks. And there's Joe Zagorski, who runs the page the NFL in the 1970s. We've had him on the channel. Daily post on the one of the great eras of pro football. So many people used to play these games and don't even know that they still exist. So this is going to be a clarion call, we hope, to let folks know, hey, we know you love these classic players and these classic moments. You can relive these in a way that is much more thoughtful and more intimate, more connected than, say, a video game where you're doing that button pushing exercise, as we like to say. So that and if you're playing video games, you're maybe fighting the CPU. You're not actually playing a team that's been, or a player has been particularly calculated to perform exactly as in real life,
right,
with proper usage. So that's what this documentary, that's a big part of this documentary. And then just to tell the stories, again, Danny, you mentioned the APA Journal. We've had players who go back to 1957. Some folks, unfortunately, have passed in the APA community, guys like Roy Langens. It's been 53 years since the first APA National Convention in Philly in 1973. So, there's a lot of great gaming history here. A lot of people, Monopoly, Scrabble, but these games are every bit as important to the American gaming canon. And we have international fans, don't get me wrong. So this is
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially when you fold in, I mean, OOTP, there's like 16 million people who play that game. Now we can get into the whole, well, it's not that accurate, or I think it is accurate, but that's not the purpose of the documentary.
Right.
The point is that they're out there. There's six, and Football Manager, which is a different type of sports sim, but it is a sports sim, is huge. I mean, I don't even know the number, but if OOTP is 16 million, what's football? 100 million? I mean, it's 50 million. Huge. Even just looking at the group that that's on the screen here. Yes, on the surface, 6 white guys, sure, but different ages, okay, much different backgrounds. John Turnbull is and fascinating people. John Turnbull, I mean, military meteorologist. How many of those guys are you going to meet? Daniel Evanson. You haven't mentioned. You want to talk about what your day
I
job
worked
is?
for the Foreign Service. So yeah, U.S. Foreign Service is
Guy's a diplomat.
So,
all right.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Michael comes from finance, right?
Accounting and finance, particularly in government accounting.
So just there's so many stories out there, and so many. I think it's. How can I put this? Somebody's gonna get mad at me anyway, so who cares? It's so easy to kind of get sort of caught up in because there's not a lot of podcasts out there. There's not a million YouTube channels, and sometimes there's divisiveness, and we can kind of get into this like thing where we think, well, that's the whole hobby, are those 10 people, or 20 people, but it's not. Yeah. And almost without exception, everybody that I've encountered in this hobby is really smart, really passionate about the hobby and in general, life in general. For a lot of times, they tend to be forward thinkers. They tend to be into history, which I think is an important component to our hobby. As I'm reaching out to people, I posted something on my personal Facebook page the other day to try to see if I had any friends. I've got plenty of friends who are from within the community, but I've got like 4,000 or something Facebook friends, followers. I don't even 99% of them. I don't even know who the hell they are, but somehow they found me through radio or comedy or whatever it was. So I posted, "Hey, do any of you ever play these games?" I got a response from this guy named Stephen Adley Girgis, who said, "Oh, I need to connect you with my old college roommate because we used to play APA in college." And he got so excited by the idea of this documentary and the remembrances he had of playing these games. Well, Girgis won the Pulitzer Prize for playwriting 3 years ago, or no, it's more than that now, but maybe 5 years ago. He wrote a play called Between Riverside and Crazy. Getting guys like him on board, because that can also lead, part of what we want to do in the documentary. I don't want to overload it with 30 million stories about Bob Costas and Keith Hernandez, but I do think it's a necessary part of the of this documentary.
Well, you want to hear the more personal stories like you had with your healing process with Ron. I had one person come to me last year and said that my games helped him get through his cancer treatments.
Mm-hmm.
He'd bring the game with him when he was doing chemo and stuff. And I mean, just for that one person, for that one thing, makes everything that I've done for this worth it.
I've had similar emails too.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you've done. Did you know that 3 U.S. presidents have played APA?
Bush, I know.
I knew about
Obama.
Not Obama.
Okay.
Nixon.
Nixon.
Wow. And then he cheated.
I was just
cheated.
I am not a crook.
Nixon, his son-in-law, Ike's kid, was huge into APA.
Yeah, he's in the APA journal all over the place. Yeah,
and so I didn't know. Apparently, I was reading this on the Strat forum, as a matter of fact. that Nixon's favorite play he ran in Napa football was what he sent to George Allen and it was played in a real game, and he lost 13 yards.
I do know that he did send a play to George Allen.
Right.
I didn't know that was related to Apple.
Yeah, it's allegedly the story is because he had run that play playing Apple football, playing against his son-in-law.
Wow.
Crazy.
So let me go ahead here, unless anybody else has anything else they want to chime in on. Well, I thought what I would do now is I would go ahead and I'll read some. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's 7 pages, but just to give you guys an idea of, you know, a more extensive look into what this documentary would be. I'm going to read to you the opening because I came up with what I think is a pretty interesting cinematic opening. So if you can picture this in your heads, screen is black. Title card reads October 2nd, 1978. We fade up on a still photo of Fenway Park from that era. Our narrator's voice is heard, easygoing, conversational, nothing too formal. We're at Fenway Park. It's Monday, October 2nd, 1978. After a historic collapse in the regular season with the Red Sox blowing a 14-game lead to their arch rival, the New York Yankees, the stage is set for a one-game playoff to decide who wins the Eastern Division of the American League. In the 7th inning of that game, the Yankees' light-hitting shortstop, Bucky Dent, stepped up to the plate, and the rest is history. Now the narrator's voice is replaced by a play-by-play announcer. His voice sounds like it's coming from an old transistor radio. Dent takes a couple of warm-up swings, steps into the box. Torres still on the mound for the Red Sox. There's the pitch, and it's a high fly ball to left field. Now we go interior Ron Juckett's bedroom day. Ron Juckett lies flat on his stomach on his bed, looking at a computer screen on which we see Action PC Baseball. And as he speaks into his microphone, we realize the announcer voice we just heard, the play-by-play announcer, belongs to him. Yastrzemski back towards the green monster, back, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Narrator, wait, what? That's not what happened. Dent's supposed to hit a 3-run homer. The Yankees come from behind to win. They won the World Series that year. What the hell happened? And now we cut to a shot of Ron Juckett being interviewed. That's the cool thing about these simulation games. You get to rewrite history. You get to tell your own story. It's all theater of the mind. That's a pretty cool opening, I think.
It is. Unfortunately, I was there that day, so it brings up very bad memories.
Oh, really?
So let me tell you a story about October 2nd, 1978. I'm in the 3rd grade, okay? And just having that 7-8-year-old view of the world and knowing that this was going to be a big thing. And so I'm in the 3rd grade at Pontley Elementary School, and it was the only time I had ever started a fight, and B, got held after school. And the horrible words I uttered to rile up the Yankee fans that were in that class was, "The Yankees rot." That was it. And I didn't get home until the 3rd inning. But honest to God, true story. That's what happened to me October 2nd, 1978.
I don't think I've ever gotten into a fight like in school, like over a sport. Did any of you guys? Girls.
No.
But
No,
not-
I almost got my shoulders separated. Me and a friend of mine were watching the Yankees Kansas City ALCS, and it was right around the same time frame. It might have been the early 80s.
Yeah.
And the friend I was watching with got so excited and started shaking me. I almost dislocated my shoulder. It was such a violent, cheerful celebration.
What's your very first sports memory, John?
Oh, you mean
Whatever,
TV
first thing
or
that comes in your head.
live?
Just whatever whatever comes to your head.
Let's talk about the gaming piece then, because I did get introduced to it through my father. I got introduced to it through a good friend of mine that lived across the street, and he was a few years older than I am, but we started playing board games, SI Superstar Baseball,
Yeah.
Pay Dirt, Bowbound, and started getting into it that way. My earliest sports memories was just riding my bicycle around the trailer park with my transistor radio, listening to Phil Rizzuto and Bill White.
How old?
On the Yankees games. Oh, that was probably That was late. Yeah, it was late, definitely late 70s. So that'll put me in my 13, 14 years old.
Right. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, my earliest baseball memories. It's a
Or
good
sports
question.
memory?
So I know there's probably a whole bunch of memories I don't actually remember. Like there's a bunch of stuff that happened, when I
Sure.
was really, really young. My dad said I used to go around the house with a wiffle ball bat and a ball, and when the game of the week was on, and like hit it around and stuff like that. So I don't remember actually doing much of that. I'll tell you though, my first actual live memory is not a baseball game; it's a football game. I went with my dad. I was 6 years old to see BYU play against Miami in 1990. That was when Miami was #1, and they came to Provo, and BYU beat them. I remember like bits and pieces of that game because I was only 6, but that was a pretty intense crowd. I think it's probably the most intense game that I've ever gone to live. So I definitely remember that one. I don't think that I ever got in any fights at school over sports, but there were a lot of heated arguments between BYU and Utah fans when I grew up, especially in the mid 90s. So I remember a lot of that very well.
Well, there's a lot of pacifism. I can't see BYU attacking Utah. That just seems like it would be wrong.
Yeah, you didn't grow up in suburban Salt Lake City.
That's true. How about you?
So
Jeff?
you're a BYU fan then? Daniel?
Yeah, kind of by birth. Yeah. So
okay,
yeah.
I was in Iraq as a contractor back in 2015, and the airfield manager that we had then was the BYU center when Jim McMahon played.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that was actually. Yeah.
I could probably look his name up real quick. I'll tell you offline, but yeah.
So my dad my dad went to BYU when Jim McMahon was there, and my dad was a journalism major, and actually had classes that were supposed to have Jim McMahon in them, but he wouldn't show up. He'd end up getting like a audit pass or something like that. So it was a shame.
I'm still trying to figure out how Jim McMahon got into BYU.
Yeah, I think they kind of changed the rules for him. He was known for going to press conferences with like a beer in one hand, and they've got to like cover it up.
Is that when
even back in college?
Yeah.
Is that when NIL really started?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So Michael, how about you? Earliest?
1967, the impossible dream season for the Red Sox. Kyle Yastrzemski was my favorite player.
But think more specifically, like paint the picture for us. Like, are you sitting on a shag carpet? Like my earliest political memory is Watergate. That's my earliest political memory. And I can remember vividly sitting on a green shag carpet with these two Mary Jane smoking, because that's what they called it back then, neighbors that we had who were watching my brother and I. And when Nixon gives his his resignation speech, like I remember that vividly. So thinking sports, is there something like that for you, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, well, that season was interesting because it's 1967. Games weren't on every day. The Red Sox basically were on the weekends in New England, and my father was a Red Sox fan, and I would sit and watch the Red Sox games on the weekends, usually Saturday, Sunday. I think they did the road games too on the weekend, but I'm not 100% on that. And then I started listening to the games on the radio, and just became fascinated. I just thought Kyle Yastrzemski was just incredible from what I could, watch and see. A year later, I got to go to my first game at Fenway. 11 years old. They were playing, I believe, the Seattle Pilots, I think, at that time, or something like that. And seeing Kyle Yastrzemski sitting in the corner of the dugout in between innings, smoking a cigarette. And I was like, Dad, he's smoking a cigarette in the dugout. And I guess it was quite common back then that, players did do that. Now they do other things in the dugout. But,
sorry, go ahead.
Yep. That was really my introduction into sports. I was 10 years old in 67. So I was just getting into all the sports. The only other one big thing I can think of is my father and I. He was a diehard Celtic fan. And of course, the Celtics won every single year. And I didn't like that.
Right.
And I fell in love with Wilt Chamberlain and became a 76ers fan. And over the years, the battles, watching those games on TV, my mother would have to go to the other end of the house because I'd be yelling, every call at Boston Garden always win for the Celtics. And I'd say something like, geez, there it is again, another call for the Celtics. My father would be like, shut up and just watch the game. but it was fun. It was, we look back and we laugh at my father's 91 now, and we still talk about it.
When you were telling the story about Yastrzemski and the dugout and smoking the cigarette, I started to think, as an artist, as a filmmaker, one of the things I would like to do in the documentary is, as people are telling these stories, I would like to be able to do historical, sort of reenactments. So a shot of a guy in a Yastrzemski, maybe we only see his back, because obviously it's not going to really be Carl Yastrzemski, but we see the number, we see the cigarette, and then, we cut to whatever the next thing is. I hope that's not just wishful thinking. I mean, when you start talking about things like that from a logistics and from a budget standpoint, you're talking about a whole new thing. But to me, it's those kinds of, those kind of spices that, that are really going to elevate this one, and we've all talked about this, but for the people out there listening, we really want the documentary to break beyond the hobby. Even if that hobby is hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, we want this to resonate with people who just like stories about humanity, about human connection, about the themes of family and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Guys are starting to come in here. We got Dave, Rail fan, said that he saw Hank Aaron in Atlanta to break Babe Ruth's record for my 11th birthday. But that's not your first sports memory, because you were 11. So
I'll give you another one if I.
It might be the most sort of powerful sports memory, but it's probably not your very first. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. This was also late 70s, early 80s, probably late 70s. My dad had actually taken us to Syracuse from Albany for the state fair.
Oh.
It was being held in Syracuse. And at the time, I didn't know it. And I found out that the master of ceremonies for that was Willie Mays.
Oh, wow.
And I was starting to get into baseball, and I know who Willie Mays was, and I was kind of amazed that he was actually going to be there, but I had nothing for him to sign. I found a pen, and I'm near where his grandstand was, and I found they had those old cardboard beer cartons, with the little 6 slots with the glass bottles, and so I tore one of those apart and used the back of that, went up, got in line, went up into the grandstand area and got his autograph. Came back down, and I forget what happened, but somebody wanted another one. So I got another cardboard piece, and it was probably 15 minutes later. He was still signing. I went back up there and to get his autograph a second time, and he recognized me. He says, "Weren't you just up here?" But no, that was as far as a brush to fame. That was probably my big first one, baseball wise, with Willie Mays.
How about you, Jeff?
Hard to beat.
Well, like you, I was probably sitting on a green shag carpet in the 70s. We're the same age. I also remember the Nixon resignation speech. So my dad was I think more of a football guy. So I distinctly remember we were up in Maine, and he always bet on the Vikings. So it had to be Super Bowl IX. So it's, early 75. And I just remember those Steeler helmets, just watching the game, and there's suddenly the helmet turns and there's no logo on the other side. And that just stopped me in my tracks. I was fascinated, not really sports related. It's more branding cognizance, but that was the first real, time that I actually stopped to watch. I didn't do Little League. I didn't do any Pee Wee football. So, I knew that in our town, Millinocket, Stearns High School was a great basketball team. I knew that, but that memory kind of lingered for 4 or 5 years until we kind of got settled in the new era and I got back into football and
Right.
to watch Super Bowl 11. We met Fred Biletnikoff at the Hall of Fame.
Oh, right.
So I kind of came full circle. But as you see, as you read, these people, everyone's immediately jumping in. These stories resonate so long that John, you mentioned pay dirt. I had pay dirt probably not long after seeing that one kind of image that shone out of the television set in some little 70s living room in the deep north there. So what happened is ultimately you start collecting Topps cards, and eventually you start reading all the Street and Smith magazines. We all had those, this journal, this digest, and you started to see the ads for these games, and you were able to. There's something about sports, there are war games. A lot of us started war games. There's family games, parlor games, but the sports games, there's something about that triumphant feeling you get when you remember these moments, these heroes who are doing these I don't know, these great physical things, but it's about teamwork and it's about chemistry and it's about all this human resilience, and certainly the 70s Steelers fans, Steel Town. So there's a certain it fosters a certain connection that these games just tap into and have tapped into for decades and will for many more years to come.
Yeah, again, I think one of the keys to the documentary is that we all have all these great stories, and I'm going to share my earliest memories, and I want to hear from Ron as well. The key is we have to have accompanying visuals. Nobody wants to watch an hour and a half of guys going, I remember 1974. It's just not good. It won't work. We love it. We'll do this. I mean, we'll stay on all night, but again, it's going to be about the visuals. It's going to be about, a story arc. There's going to be so much. I mean, what I'm hoping is when we finally get there and we get the funding that we're looking for, and we go out and we start conducting these interviews and all that we have so much material that we can really craft something. I mean, that's going to mean telling a lot of people, unfortunately, sorry, your story didn't make it, but the more we have, the better. So Ron, for you, what's your very earliest sports memory?
Henry Aaron.
The home run.
I was 2.5. And grew up with a father who would bet, had the football cards and would bet the football games.
Right.
And so they were always, sports was always on, but there was just something magical, about knowing that and seeing it and hearing all the noise that just really captivated me.
When that happened, I was that was 74, right?
Yeah, April 8th, 74.
Yeah, I was 9 or almost 9. So I had already developed a bunch of memories before that. Like my earliest memories, it's like they're not, some of them aren't really fully realized memories. They're like bits and pieces of sort of this like burgeoning or emerging rather awareness of there's this thing called sports, and my dad really likes it, so I'm supposed to really like it. And my parents got divorced when I was like 3.5 or 4, which that was really rare. This is the very late 60s. I mean, really rare. I think I was the only kid in my class whose parents were divorced. Now you'd be hard pressed. Like at least half the parents would probably be divorced, right? Yeah. So it was a very, very difficult thing. And there were some issues between my parents, really bad issues that I won't get into right now. At some point we'll turn it into the Marc Unger therapy show, but for now we won't. I only got to see my dad every other week because of visitation rights. And actually for the first few months, my mother did everything she could to keep him from being able to see me. There's a lot of bad stories, but the point is, I remember things like Jerry Quarry maybe on the cover of Playboy magazine or something because he was fighting Muhammad Ali, I think. I definitely remember going to, in fact, Ron and I were talking about this the other day, going to Yankee Stadium to see the Giants play the Cardinals, the football Giants play the Cardinals. And I remember Jim Hart. I remember Norm Snead, Ron Johnson. my first friend, and I barely remember him, but I do, was this black kid named Marc Webb. We lived in a building right by the George Washington Bridge, and Marc Webb's father was Alan Webb, who played for the Giants in the early mid 60s. So I have some sort of vague, recollection of that. The first baseball game I went to, and this is like a dream, I got to see Hank Aaron play against Willie Mays in 1973 at a Braves Mets game. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, when I think about those things, and of course, and I've talked about this, I think I wrote about it in the piece Ron and I did for Sports Sim Magazine. My dad sitting me on the floor. And again, this would be one of those like historical reenactments I would love to see in the documentary. And he pulls out two red dice, a yellow legal pad, a pencil, copy of the Daily News. He takes the games from yesterday. It was Pittsburgh Pirates against the Mets, writes down the lineups, draws lines for innings, and then teaches me this 2 dice game. 1 and 1 is a ground out, 1 and 2 is a fly out, 1 and 3 is a single, 4 1, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. And that's how, that was my first experience with. You can't really call it sports sim because it's just, it's kind of arbitrary. But 6-6 was a home run, so it was basically APA, sort of, not at all. Let's look at some of the comments here. My favorite player was Dick Allen. And my dad took me to my first baseball game for my 8th birthday in 1973. Royals at White Sox. Freddie Patek, you remember him? Shortest player in the majors, homered to lead off the game. I don't think there's a lot of Freddie Patek home runs, right? Maybe 9. I sat next to and had a wonderful conversation with an African-American woman. The town I grew up in had no black people. Oh, wow. So this stands out vividly in my memory. My favorite player was Dick Allen, and hers was Bill Melton. Remember him? Bill Melton.
Yeah.
You talk about all these great players. I'll pull out the Apple basketball here from the 76-77 set. And this is just one of the many representations here. But when you talk about your favorite players,
you're showing them.
Yeah, you can actually draw them depending on the mechanics or the type of game you have. You can actually have them in your hand or a team card and you create that life of the mind over and over again. And you have that, there's an impulse to kind of relive, again, there's this, you mentioned the noise, Ron, you mentioned the noise. It's sports sounds like a good collective time. It's not like a war. It's like, wow, everyone's so psyched, it's energizing. And when you can, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Bob McAdoo, these games let you recreate, not just relive old memories, but create new ones. We've lost you lose a lot of players like Sonny Jurgensen. People will pull a team with his card or, one of his Redskins teams and play a tribute game just to kind of reconnect to really good moments. So, talking about health and kind of, a lot of folks might be insular. If you talk about marketing personas, the type of customer for these games might be pretty insular, but these memories are just like yesterday. We carry them every day. And, these sports are an absolute portal, an immediate portal to these emotions, these inspirations.
It's also
go ahead, Ron, go ahead.
It's also very personal. You grow up in a certain area and everyone's going to have the same moments that sticks out. But the 6 of us are from different parts of the country. And with the exception of, the Bucky Dent game, everyone's going to have a very different take on what sticks with them for their favorite, most personal memory or whatever. But it's the ties that bind, just because we share those memories, not necessarily having the same ones, if that makes any sense.
No, it absolutely does. So I don't want to keep everybody, meaning Jeff and because Ron and I are going to play this baseball game using Action PC Baseball. I don't know if Dave Cook is still in the chat, but he was. We were going to play Strat PC, but unfortunately we couldn't get it to work. So and we'll figure it out. Our plan. I really haven't really talked, or we haven't really talked about what is the plan for this YouTube channel. The idea is that, right now we'll do once a week. We'll do Tuesday nights. I don't want to always be the host, quite frankly. So others will take over that responsibility sometimes. We'll play head-to-head games against each other, against members of the community. We'll play PC games. We'll play cards and dice games. In some cases, we'll have to figure out, well, how is that actually going to work? I was really surprised when I put the poll. I'm surprised and not surprised. The first poll I put on the YouTube channel was, what sport should our first game be? And it was 82% baseball, which I know is not surprising because that's sort of the thing. But football, man, how could you not want to see a head-to-head football game? That is the sport. And honestly, for me, I mean, yes, I played APA and all that, but the games I loved was football strategy, pay dirt, playing against my dad, playing against my friends, having leagues. So I definitely want to do that on the channel as well. But we'll play all the games, and we'll take your suggestions on games that we should play. I really like the idea of this head-to-head thing. And I think that it'll be really, I mean, Ron and I did sort of a practice game the other night, and that was an absolute blast. We were hanging on every at bat, like it actually mattered, because it did to us.
You get Al Red Sox fan on, he'll recreate a sports moment like the 75 Hail Mary.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we put together this YouTube channel to talk about the documentary, to play these games. We didn't really get a chance. We have plenty of time. So maybe next broadcast or next stream, I'll get into more of the details of the documentary. But I think a lot of you are probably getting the gist. And one of the big things, obviously the biggest thing, is how we're going to fund this thing. Unfortunately, with something like this, my experience in the business, and particularly where the business is these days, you couldn't pitch this idea to a network and think they're going to give you a check to make it. This is not going to happen. There was a time when maybe that could have happened, but those days are over. So we're going to have to find the funding to make it through crowdfunding, through the help and support of the community, and sponsorship. Good news is every person I've talked to who's a game designer has been really excited by this prospect. Keith Avalone was very excited from Play. John Herson and I from APA, I was on the phone with him for an hour and a half, and he offered really solid support. Now, what form that support will take, that still will be worked out. Is it a check? Is it trade? Because, with a crowdfunding campaign, one of the things you might do is you might, have these perks. So your budget's whatever, $100,000, just throwing out a number. And, you get $50 from somebody else, do the math, 2,000 people. Yeah. There's your 100 grand. So, a perk might be give us $50 and get, the 2 APA seasons of your choice. Don't hold me to any of this, by the way. This is all very hypothetical, but the support isn't. The fact that John Herson stepped up, really, really interested in helping. Dave Cook has been really excited and really gracious with his time in talking to me, and he and I coming up with ways that Dave Cook Sports can be involved, and that can be blasting out emails. When you've got that extensive of an email list, it's about building ground support for this funding campaign. That's going to be the way we make this documentary. So the idea is, for the next probably 2, maybe even 3 months, we're not going to launch the fundraising campaign until we've introduced ourselves to enough of you, and for us to have your email address, so we can send you sort of updates as things progress. And on that launch day, whether it's on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever platform we end up using, there's support on day one, because support begets support. If a project gets a huge amount of funding, it gets bumped up in the algorithm, right? And that can lead to outside support from people that didn't even know box scores from the basement was a thing. they just happen to be on Kickstarter one day and say, oh yeah, I'll give them $20 or $1,000 or whatever it is. The 1,000 would be great. But that's how this is going to happen. And we really appreciate you listening to or watching our first stream. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I am so thrilled to have these guys on board on this, and Dave Cook and John and everybody else that I've talked to. So if you guys have any final thoughts before Ron and I attempt to play a baseball game. And by the way, you're welcome to stay. Oh, look, Pesky Pole is here. Finally. He's an actual person.
I'm telling you right now, I just got off my high school baseball game. And my advice to you guys is don't volunteer to be a team parent. Don't. It's a full-time job. My son plays on the B team baseball team, and I went to the parent meeting this year, and they wanted to volunteer. No one volunteered. I work in the school. They looked at me, and I swear it's like a second job. And so I'm all over the place. So I just got home, ran home. I saw you guys are still on. Let me jump on real quick and say hi to everybody. So.
Well, we already had see something, say something. So now we also have just say no.
I know. Well, next year during the parent meeting, I'm going to make sure because last year I didn't go to the parent meeting, and last year's season was stress-free. I couldn't make it. So next year I told my wife that when the parent meeting comes up, schedule me to do something, either go to a dentist appointment, go to my daughter or something, and just say, listen, let me know what I missed. And that way I can just help out without actually being the point person to everything. So it's, it's been crazy. So how'd the game go tonight? I did not see the game that you guys
we haven't played
today.
yet. We haven't
played.
We've just been chatting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better.
In fact, we were about to right when you came on. So let me ask you the same question that I asked these guys when we first started.
Okay.
When you heard about this documentary, you reached out. You were the first person to reach out. You sent me an email like immediately. So the question I put to everyone is, what got you so enthused about this project?
Well, don't, Ron, close your ears. I don't want to flutter around too much. I don't like to flutter around, but I'm a big fan of Ron Juckett. I really am. And I kind of discovered Ron before the podcast, and just, I forgot how I discovered him. I think I clicked on a game thinking it was a real game. Like I was trying to find like a Red Sox, and it came up, and I go, what is this? And then I kind of opened this whole new world, and I just kind of listened to Ron. And I listen to Ron's games. I don't get to listen to him live that often because I'm working, but
because your schools blocked them.
Yeah, and I used to have lunch. I used to have lunch at my school and listen to Ron's game in grade. And then my school blocked Ron because apparently he's now too adult. But normally what I do is at night when everyone's in bed, my job is to clean the kitchen up. My wife cooks. I clean the kitchen. And so I listen to Ron's games, as I'm cleaning the kitchen. And then I'll make little comments here and there, like as something comes up, and Ron usually makes a joke about me or about Nomar or something. And so, no, but I've been a big fan of Ron Juckett. And so I always felt there should be something. I know this documentary isn't all about Ron, but I think his story is fascinating. And of course I learned a little more about Ron. He's been on like 45 podcasts in the past week and a half. So I've learned more and more about him. I knew a lot about him, but I learned more and more about him. And so I kind of, reached out to Marc.
Yeah. He's kind of like the, what's that guy's name? Pedro Pascal, the actor. Is that right? Ron is like the Pedro Pascal of, or the Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
Of our hobby, where he just shows up everywhere.
Yeah,
in fact, Ron was in the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know if you know.
I he should be,
but he was there.
Bad.
I was Portly Bunny.
No, so that was the main thing, and so I've been playing. I've been playing these games. I started off as a kid playing the Kadako, All-Star, Spin the Things. And so
that reminds me, and I
Yeah.
don't mean to cut you off, but it applies. I would really like to try to get a hold of somebody from his family, anybody. I mean, that game goes back way. I don't know who's going to
Yeah.
have any memories.
There's an Ethan
Someone
Allen.
But
still
right?
I
makes-
really think that was the gateway for a lot of us. A
Mhm.
lot of us. And I don't really know anything beyond he was a baseball player and he made this thing. You know, does anybody know like the genesis, like the history of behind?
Was
I
that Ethan
don't.
Allen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is Ethan Allen. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the
Which
furniture
if-
guy,
if-
the other guy.
Not
There's-
the
there's the-
Vermonter either.
There's a game out there called Star Power Baseball, and it uses a spinner. His is a lot more advanced than the original game, but I bet you if you got a hold of, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but I'm sure he would know about it because he puts stuff out all the time on his discs.
I'm sorry, Pesky. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, before I discovered the games, I would I would play my own games in the backyard. Like and I thought I was a weird kid, and I probably was, but I just always wanted to have my own world. Like I'd watch sports on TV, and then I go, I'm going to go play my own world. And I have notebooks. my mom found them, spiral notebooks, writing out the lineup for the Red Sox and playing the Red Sox and the Yankees in my backyard. I had a porch, and I would stack lawn chairs on top of the porch in the left side of the porch for the Green Monster. And I would keep stats. I'd throw the ball myself, and of course the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Weirdly, they would always hit the ball farther than the Yankees would. It would be kind of a strange thing, and Jim Wright, and so I would keep stats, and then when I wouldn't play all the games, I'd flip the coin. I wasn't really a math genius, so I'd flip a coin. I'll never forget the Braves in 1990 won it all. And Pete Smith won like 28-0, because I just flipped the coin. Oh, the Braves won again. Oh my goodness, And of course, the following year, they actually, were in the World Series. But so I was always a kid who wanted to create my own world. I'd play the old electric football, and just with the football men, and play my own football games. I'd keep stats, and so. And then I kind of graduated on to like Kadako, and I played Strat in college and did that a little while. But I always kind of hid, like I didn't really like brag about that I was doing this stuff. I'd go back in my dorm room and play a game of Strat by myself, and kind of like someone knocking on the door. What are you doing? Nothing. Not doing anything. Just watching
See,
TV.
I've never, honestly, I've never understood that. I've heard it from a lot of guys where their hobby, their passion for this hobby was something that they had to keep secret. I never kept it secret ever. I never felt I needed to.
Understand it.
Yeah.
You sit there and you say, "Well, I'm playing a game by myself," and do you win? Do you lose? Yeah.
Well, if they don't understand it, they're idiots. I don't want to be friends with them. So who cares?
I think it'd have been a lot
It's not that
easier
complicated.
if you're just saying I'm in there playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I think people have understood what it was that you were talking
Now
about.
that I hid from people.
But the old meme where the husband and wife are laying in bed together, and the husband's turned away, and the wife's going, I wonder what he's thinking about, all this stuff. And I swear, I think way too much about my replays going on. I'm going, God, tomorrow I'm playing Dynasty League Baseball online too, where you manage, and I'm playing the 25 Red Sox right now, and I'm thinking right now that I'm out of pitching right now, and should I have Richard Fitz start the next game? I was thinking about that today as I'm sitting at this little parent meeting we had afterwards, and this guy's kind of droning on. I'm thinking, if I start Richard Fitz tomorrow, then I could probably bring back Bueller, but he, and I'm thinking, and like you just, and I'm 51 years old. I think, should I grown man be thinking about that stuff? But I do. So.
Well, I mean, people are thinking fantasy football, fantasy baseball all the time. I mean, but this is actually making decisions and actually doing something that it's got that extra, instead of just waiting for action to happen and betting on what it's going to do. You have more control, so that's that more immersive aspect.
So, Ron, what do you think? Should we? Because we've been on how long now?
An hour and
5 minutes almost. Should we do this? And we have Dave Cook is still here.
Is
So if
there
we're having any
before,
problems, you can talk us through them, right?
before we get into that, because there's a couple names I haven't recognized. Is there anyone watching who has no idea who I am? Because I don't want to explain anything if you all know who I am. But is there anyone watching tonight that has no idea who I am?
Oh, is this to let people know kind of what
Yeah,
you
to
deal
let
with?
people know it right.
Mhm.
I
Does
will.
anybody here not know
Who
about
I am?
Ron's physical condition and
Well,
what he's...
not necessarily that, but
Oh, okay.
but just if you haven't watched the channel or listened to the podcast or anything that I've done, if this is the first time you're seeing me and my cat, who's Michael's little poodle got jealous of at one point in the proceedings, let me know and I'll give you the 30-second tour. If not, then we'll set up the game.
I'll just say it right now. Ron has a channel called the Retro Sports Network. He's an incredible broadcaster, a professional quality broadcaster in our hobby. And he's been doing it for 7 years, 8 years.
This is my 8th year.
Yeah. And if you're not a subscriber, you should be. And same with Pesky Paul and John Turnbull and Michael Canisteri and Jeff Giordano from Apple Football Club. But specifically, Ron, in fact, tonight when we play this Action PC game, Ron is going to grace us with his voice, and he will do the commentary for our combined baseball game where I will be playing a team.
Change your ballpark while you're doing that to neutral.
Why is it so important? Oh, you think that'll help things?
Because the chalkboard's going to work for the Baltimore State for Camden Yards. When it popped up before, it was everyone in a line, and so you wouldn't be able to get any working chalkboard.
Okay, what I need right now from somebody is a step-by-step procedure of what I need to do right now.
Okay, go into team organization. Okay. Go into team organization.
First of all, I have to open the game.
Yep, open the game.
You still got Hamachi connected, right?
I still have
we'll get to, well,
okay.
Yes.
All right.
So you go under team organization.
Hold on, it's coming up. Which is where under
it's on the top row. It's a menu choice. It's not in that very top row.
Well, there's something that says team organization.
No, let me open up the game. It's hold on here. It's organize. Play organize reports. You want to click
I see organize, yeah.
And then team organization.
Team information, you mean?
Okay.
Right? There is, because there's nothing that says team organization. It says
team information. You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave says organize / modify. Maybe you should pull him up. Can you draw him on live?
Sounds like a life lesson. Organize and modify. It sounds like something I can do for them.
All right, guys. So that's not a bad idea, Dave. If you would want to,
pull him in, let him showcase his game there a bit. Yeah.
Do you want to come on camera with us, or are you like tucked away in bed or something? I don't know. Help us, please.
Gentlemen, I'll say good night.
All right, Jeff.
It's a real
Jeff.
Great work. Really, really happy that you're part of the team, and talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Take care, Jeff.
All right, I'm on modified team. So what do you want me to select? Neutral.
Neutral.
Okay. Not Memorial Stadium.
Right. Neutral.
Okay.
It will show Camden Yards because that's a neutral park, but it should all be drawn as opposed to. So we'll
This
have a
must
chalk.
not be an alphabetical order. Oh, neutral park's the top. Got it.
Right.
Okay. And then just hit assign team to park.
Right.
Juckett set to 2026 neutral park.
Yeah, that's fine. But since you're hosting, since you're the home team, then that's
now I can close out of this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now what?
Okay, then we'll set up.
So now I'm going to host. Ron.
Now you're going to host, and then I will call you.
And do you have my IP?
Hold on.
All right.
It thankfully doesn't keep it every time. So it's 25 dot
59.227.204.
Oops, I'm not. I'm either not connected to the internet or my firewall is blocking game access.
Can you fix that?
Did I time out? I might have timed out here. With Hamachi? All right, hold on.
This has to be fun for the viewers.
Isn't it great? All right, let me try this again.
I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who have gone through the exact same thing.
It could be a good tutorial.
Right. That's good. That's a good point. I like the optimism.
Okay, 25.59.227. What's the last three?
Hold on one second. 2559227.204. And Dave, I just sent Dave Cook. I just sent a link to your Facebook messages.
It says I'm being blocked.
You're being blocked.
I'm not either connected to the internet or your firewall is blocking game access.
Well, you didn't have that before, so something changed.
All right. I've now opened the port I think I'm supposed to open.
How come that didn't happen earlier?
I don't know. Nor did it happen the last time we played.
No.
It was smooth.
But
smooth
it may
as
be
silk.
using the same port. I don't know. 227.
I hope it's not my fault.
Dot 204, the last three.
Yep.
It's not letting me do it.
Maybe close Hamachi and reopen it.
I did that already.
This is the troubling soft underbelly that few get to see.
I did that
Behind
already.
the scenes.
Let me close out of the game and reopen it.
Okay.
I might have been open too long without any action going on.
Should I do the same thing, or does it matter if I do? Probably not.
Probably not.
There's Dave. There he is.
Hey,
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hey,
Hello,
Dave.
Dave.
And just so you know, we know this is easy because we've done it. Just for some, we did it. John, what was it? 2 days ago?
yeah.
It was no
Yeah.
sweat. We had fun. For some reason, we're having a hard time.
That's what it was.
Oh, there's that old dial-up. That old.
I have to set up host first, don't I?
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you do that.
All right. Host. I just hit host game session.
Yes. And then you get waiting for the call. And I join. And I now have this memorized.
Does that mean you can hack me?
No, it means I can hack your Hamachi.
That sounds terrible.
Doesn't it?
I never want my Hakamachi
I'm going to hack.
violated.
I'm going to hack your barbecue, and you're going to make tea at 8 a.m.
Boy, that knock is so it's like the police.
Set us up.
Not that I've ever had the police knock on my door. That's not.
Oh, okay.
Sure, Mark.
All right. So now now I'm in. So
Right.
now I need to share the screen with you though, or something, right?
I can share the screen.
Okay. Just tell me what you need. I'm just.
Hi, Dave.
I am your puppet. Whatever you want me to do, I'm doing.
Set up the game. Just go ahead and set the game.
So just go to just to create the exhibition. You mean?
I'm
Right.
live. I'm getting lots of repetition.
I had when we tried this, Dave. Oops, Dave left.
Well, that's bad when you lose the developer of the game. I want no part of this.
He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Right. That game we'll do. Keep it simple. Okay. All right. Now Opponent coach Juckett, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. And now I see my team.
All right. So now you
So right now, the people watching though, they can't see any of this yet.
if you hit the bottom of where the new screen popped up, you can see me set my lineup.
Do what?
Just like
Oh,
just
I
like-
see.
Dave says he's listed as backstage again.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
And he's back.
All right. Oops, now I lost my lineup. We'll try this again.
This was back when the Nationals actually had a baseball team.
That's right. I got to play David Ortiz at first base.
It worked in the World Series.
It was one of the greatest defensive players I've ever
I
seen.
know.
What am I forgetting? Right field, left field, center field.
This is back when Rendon cared about baseball.
That's right. Oops.
All right, I'm gonna hit okay. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit okay. Oh, see, there's no scoreboard here. See, we won't have a chalkboard.
What?
See how all the players are lined up?
Well, I can change that. I know how to do that.
Okay, go ahead
But
and do that.
actually, on my screen, they're positioned perfectly.
Well,
I'm looking at them.
They're still lined up for the national anthem.
They aren't on mine.
So then you should fix yours.
Right click
Well-
the screen. Yeah, there you go. Right click it and park layout. There you go.
Well, fine.
But
I like that
you
defense.
don't have control right now. You have to wait till you get control.
Okay.
You can bunt on that defense.
You're getting no bloop singles in that defense.
I love how Seaver's throwing from the left field foul pole.
He's got a strong arm.
He certainly does.
So what am I doing? Am I hitting pitch?
You got to hit pitch. Okay,
right.
now I can. Okay, now why didn't this work?
I don't know. It looks good to me. I missed part of
Okay.
your setup.
There you go.
Now
we go.
we're good.
There you
All
go.
right. Thank you so much. So Tom Seaver, 73 Mets. Mark's teams are the 73 Mets and the 79 Orioles. And so Seaver went 19-10 in 73, started 36 games, finished 18. 290 innings. He allowed 219 hits, 74 runs, 67 earned. He walked 64, struck out 251. That's a metric ton, and allowed 23 homers. He's 29 this year and throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. The lineup for the mix of my teams here will be Trey Turner. Will be leading off at short. I just loved covering him. Johnny Damon will play center field and bat second. David Ortiz with the Twins is at first base. He'll go third. Manny Ramirez cleans up and left. Anthony Rendon actually played 147 games in 2017, which is about what he stole off the Angels all those years, right? He'll be at third. He'll bat fifth. Daniel Murphy and his sore gluteus maximus at second will bat sixth. Bryce Harper and right goes seventh. Jason Varitek behind the plate eighth. And Max Scherzer, the immaculate one, will be on the mound batting ninth. Mark's defense for you, Doug DeCince is a 5 at third. Bud Harrelson a 7 and a 6 at short. Felix Millan is a 7 and a 7 at second. Eddie Murray is an 8 at first. The outfield, Cleon Jones a 4 and a 4. Al Bunbury a 7 and a 5 in center. And Rusty Staub a 6 and a 9 in right. Jerry Grody an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. And Seaver a 7 on the mound with a 924 fielding percentage. Turner, 284, 11 homers, and 45 RBI. Seaver deals, and Turner draws the walk. Now, for those of you who don't know, and Mark decides what he wants to do with Turner here, I covered this Nationals team for Fansided. Wrote on a blog for it every day, and it was such a blast. And they kind of got.
Can I get a drink while you tell your story?
Sure.
You got paid millions, didn't you, Ron?
How long
Oh
is the
my-
story? I get one too.
Goodness gracious, pesky pole! I was able to retire. Seriously, the biggest check I ever got was in the off season for winter meetings. And I think because we got paid, get this, 83 cents per 1,000 page views.
Yeah.
Okay, 83 cents per 1,000 page views. And I think, and we always got paid 90 days net. So it wasn't even right off the bat. I think I made $230 one month. That was it.
Yeah. I've done it before too. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean that's it's too bad that Jeff isn't here because you're right, and yeah, so Johnny Damon patiently waiting. Oh, is he hit 304 for Boston, 20 homers and 94 RBI.
We've
I
already
assume we're not
exceeded
using the pitch clock.
Yeah, we've already exceeded the pitch clock like 5 times now. The bases should be loaded.
It is Mark back because I can't
Not yet.
see. Okay,
Nope, he's
so
tell him, let him know. Hey, Mark,
Hold on.
Mark, you've exceeded the pitch clock on 3 consecutive batters, so the bases are loaded.
What happened?
You exceeded the pitch clock on 3 consecutive batters.
there is
Stop
a
it.
clock in the football game. All right,
Guys.
you ready, Mark?
Yes.
All right. Pitch to I'll throw to first like I thought, and Turner is back. And so Seaver has to go through this again. All right. We're stealing him. Throw down from Grody.
Brody's got the arm. Nope.
He's got a 7 arm, but Turner has a good speed. So a 1 strike count to Damon. I can't
You know what
hit
Johnny
it.
Bench said about Jerry Grody, right?
No.
But basically, I forget
He's
the
playing
exact
third base on
quote.
any team that Grody's catching on, right?
Say it again.
He's playing third base on any team that Grody's catching on.
Right. That's exactly what he said.
Wow.
That's how much respect Bench had for Jerry Grody.
Yeah, Grody was very good.
Texas boy, I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Pitch to Damon is up the middle. Bud Harrelson's got it over to Murray, and there's 1 out. Turner moves on to third for David Ortiz.
I like
best
this
first
concept.
baseman in Red Sox history.
I like having
301.
that- I like these combined teams thing. I think it's pretty cool.
I like the idea. Yeah, 33. He had 301 in 2004, 41 homers, 139 RBI, and no stolen bases. They had to bring out the oxygen for his 3 triples.
There's the pitch.
Struck him out. Got him on a 2-2 curve swing and 2 out for Manny Ramirez. 308, 43 homers, and 130 RBI. Seaver on this beautiful day in New York, 60 degrees, winds blowing right to left at 9. Runner goes, ground ball to Mian, over to Murray, and that's an error. Turner will score. Dick Young has already written a column about their bad defense.
Mian makes the error. That hurts.
It's 989 fielding percentage, too. Here's Rendon. This is not his combined numbers for the Angels. This is what he did in 2017. 301, 25 homers, and 100 RBI.
Sports Time Machine is exactly right. This Mets Orioles team doesn't have a ton of offense. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
If this was a 3-game series, it would be a shellacking. I guess 1 game anybody can win, but
Yeah.
there's no way I would win this series.
I played with the '69 Mets one time, and I didn't know much about them. I knew about Seaver, man, they don't score runs, man.
I don't know how they won 100 games.
Yeah,
I
The
don't-
69 Mets had more offense, though, I think, than the 73 Mets
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
had.
Well,
Seriously.
73 was all Yogi.
Right. Yogi. Okay, Yogi. Here we go.
All right, Rendon. Snap throw down to first. Did they get Ramirez napping? No, they didn't. So
Man, he's
Brody,
napping.
ball one. Here's the pitch. Popped him up. Left side. That will be Cleon Jones, and he will make the catch, and that will do. The Juckets get a run on no hits in air. They leave a runner on. Half an inning, 1-0 run. So here's Max Scherzer, 16-6 with the Nats in 2017. 31 starts, 200. Just a difference in the era. 200 innings. I mean, Scherzer would have completed 20 starts a year for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
126 hits, 62 runs,
Yeah,
56 earned. He allowed 22 homers, walked 55, and struck out 268. There's Marc's lineup. Al Bunbury leads off in center. Felix Millan at second will bat second. Big difference. Rusty Staub and his 15 homers go third in the right field. Eddie Murray, he was rookie of the year in 77, right?
77 or 78?
78. So young Eddie Murray
78.
cleans up at first. Cleon Jones in left will bat fifth. Doug DeCinces, looking like he's found the bong, is at third, will bat sixth. Jerry Grody behind the plate, batting seventh. Pete Rose's best friend, Bud Harrelson, at short, batting eighth. And Tom Seaver on the mound, batting ninth. Scherzer can give you 115 pitches. Defensively,
Sorry, Ron. The Cy Young winner, award winner in '79 was Mike Flanagan. Palmer was kind of at the end of his career here.
Yeah, he was.
But Flanagan won the Cy Young that year, and then
defensively,
Steve Stone won it in '80.
he won 25 games that year.
Yes.
Yep.
Defensively for my team, Anthony Rendon is 7 at third. Trey Turner is 6 and a 7 at short. Daniel Murphy is 6 and a 7 at second. We'll pretend David Ortiz is a 3 at first. Manny Ramirez a 3 and a 6 in left. This is not a great defensive squad I've got out there. Johnny Damon an 8 and a 5 in center, and Bryce Harper, very generous, a 7 and an 8 in right. Jason Varitek a 6 and a 3 behind the plate, and Max is a 6 on the mound.
This
And
is not a-
Dave Cook, you're more than welcome to challenge Juckett on his findings on your ratings, on your hard work.
This-
Yeah, Ron.
This is not run prevention baseball here in this team here.
Yeah, Ron's a great guy, but at Dave Cook Sports, we get to play God on these things. So
Right, exactly.
he can edit it himself if he wants to.
No, I had Al Bunbury at 285, 7 homers and 49 RBI. I don't think I've ever edited a rating of yours, Dave. Struck him out. 2-2. Varitek dropped it and had to tag him. So here's me on 290, 3 homers and 37 RBI. That is a ground ball to third. Rendon has time over to Ortiz. 2 out. For Rusty Staub, one of my favorite players. 279, 15
Ken Singleton
homers.
really should be playing right because has had a better year in '79 than Staub had in '73. But it's Rusty Staub, and I'm from Brooklyn.
I did not realize until a couple of years ago. He also drove in 76. What a World Series he had that year against Oakland. I feel seen.
It's the first World Series I remember is '73.
Ground ball to Scherzer, over to Ortiz, and that'll do. The Ungers go in order after 1-0 Juckett.
Hey guys, I'm going to duck out here.
All right, John.
It was
Okay,
a
see
great
you,
talking
John.
to y'all, and
Hi,
Great
John.
seeing you, man. Take care.
looking forward to what the documentary is going to come out to be. So
Yeah.
glad to be on the team.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.
All right, night all.
Good seeing you, Jen. Have a good night.
Good night. It'll be Murphy, Harper, and Varitek to face Seaver here in the second. Daniel at 322, 23 homers and 93 RBI. This Nats team could rake. Base hit left field. Past Harrelson. Jones throws it back in. And Murph is on. That's the first hit for the Juckets. Bryce Harper at 319, 29 homers, and 87 RBI. Walks. Grody shakes his head. It was a 3-1 offering
today.
You know, I did a tournament once for Dave Little, and he wanted the 75 Reds, which is his prerogative. Jason Varitek at 296, 18 homers, and 73 RBI. And he got to choose the teams and the seedings, and the 8th seed was the 73 Mets. And I warned him before we started. I said, you want this to be a one-game series? Yeah. So you're going to get Seaver. Yeah. The Mets won.
Sure.
Yeah.
All about the pitching. Short series.
Struck him out. Varitek takes an 0-2 fastball. I'm not sure what he was looking for. 1 out for Max Scherzer.
Look low to me. Look low to me.
Yeah, me too. Scherzer at 161. He did homer and 5 RBI. 1 out. He squares. Bunt is down. Murray has to go get it. Mian is going to make the play. So it goes 3-4 on the dance card. Opening 9 for Seaver, 31 pitches, inning and 2/3. The run was not earned. A hit, he walked 2 and struck out 2. Turner reached on the air. Popped him up.
All right.
Errolson in the outfield makes the catch to retire the side, and the Juckets leave on 2. No runs, a hit, no errors. Bottom 2, 1-0 run. So Murray, Jones, and DeCinces to face Scherzer here in the second. Eddie at 295, 25 homers, and 99 RBI. Scherzer's ready. Fly ball, center field. Back goes Damon. Goodbye.
Eddie.
Eddie.
400.
Heard a lot of that at Memorial Stadium.
Dead center. Can we show it again for the replay? Yep, right here. All Damon could do was turn and watch it go.
That's
and
fun.
The nameless one running the bases. Personally, I think he didn't touch third base, but so it's a 1-1 tie.
Appeal.
I remember Billy Martin doing that a ton. Cleon Jones at 260, 11 homers, and 48 RBI. That's in the left center field. Shallow. Turner goes out and makes the catch. 1 out for Doug DeCinces. Doug just looks too happy in that picture. At 230, 16 homers and 61 RBI. Got him. He chased an 0-2 off speed, 2 out for Jerry Grody. Jerry at 256, a homer, and 32 RBI. To continue with the Grody love, he really is in that hall of underappreciated, very good in the Cecil Cooper wing. That is a ground ball to Turner. Trey's got it, makes a fantastic stop over to Ortiz. No one's confusing him for Keith Hernandez, and that'll do. However, the Youngers get the solo homer from Eddie Murray, and after 2, it's 1-1.
Grody never really put up the offensive numbers, though. I mean, defensively, he was never really. I mean, I don't think he's. I mean, are you saying that he's like a borderline Hall of Famer?
No, I just think he's underappreciated.
Like Cecil Cooper. Okay, I get it. Sure.
Was that great play by Ortiz? I'm going to guess it was by Ortiz, right? That great
it was.
Play?
Of course it was.
That's what I thought.
And Jeff Suppan fell down on the third base bag again. Johnny Damon's 0 for 1. Johnny swings, ground ball to Harrelson, over to Murray for the out, 1 away. For David Ortiz, who struck out his first time up, 1-2 on Seaver's dance cards. And this time he walks. 3-1 was high and away outside. That'll bring up Manny Ramirez, who's 0 for 1. Ortiz, not a threat to steal. Struck him out. In 0-2, and Manny chased it 2 out for Anthony Rendon, who's 0 for 1.
I should probably check the chat. Anything going on here? How are we looking? All good stuff. Really good stuff. I'm glad you guys are sticking around to watch this. This is a lot of fun. I think head-to-head is an absolute blast. And I think as we get more and more comfortable doing it, and we're doing the live stream longer, I think it's going to really grow into something. That's my opinion.
Unfortunately, the Juckets and the Ungers did not pick different uniform colors for tonight.
I just threw this together so fast.
That was my guess.
Yes.
Not enough time to order uniforms.
Nope. Rendon draws the walk. I contacted Chico's bail bonds, but they didn't respond in time. 2 out for Murph. He singled his first time up. Got him. So Seaver gets through the third. Murphy was crossed up there, and that'll do. No runs, no hits, and I've left on 5 runners. Pesky Poe will never forgive me. After 2.5, it's 1-1. So Harrelson, Seaver, and Bunbury. Bud at 258. Wow. 3 triples and 20 RBI. Got him. A full count off speed, and that'll bring up Seaver. At 161, he homered and drove in 5. So we got a good morning and a good afternoon. Scherzer got him on a 1-2. It brings up Bunbury, who is 0 for 1. He struck out. 2 2/3 for Mad Max, 39 pitches. A run, it was earned. He's allowed the 1 hit. That was a solo homer to Murray, and he struck out 4. Ground ball to third. Rendon has it over to Ortiz. Bunbury's running, and he is out on a bang-banger, and that'll do. After 3, no runs, no hits, no errors. It's me 1, Mark 1. Sounds like a car.
Ortiz
Mark
at first
Weaver.
base. Another great play by Ortiz at first.
I'm just astounded how well he's playing there.
Stretch.
Harper walked his first time up. Into left center, Cleon Jones has it measured. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 away. For Jason Varitek, who struck out his first time up. Seaver deals. Got him.
Was
So
it 5? Yeah, 5.
that is 5 for Tom Terrific, but he's walked 4. It's about what
Yep.
he did in his tribute game when the Cubs torched him in the 5th. Mad Max is going to swing here. He had 1-6. Oh, he bunted his first time up. He makes contact. He drives it past Harrelson for a base hit. For Trey Turner. So 18 batters deep for Seaver, 3 2/3, 75 pitches. That's not great. An unearned run, 2 hits. He's walked 4 and struck out 5. The Tracycle, 0 for 1 with a walk. Scherzer on first, 1-1 to score, 2 out here. The Sensei goes to Mian, and Scherzer's retired. There's no standings to show you like I normally would after 3.5. It's 1-1. So game designer, any comments?
Just my complaint about the uniform so far. No, but it's funny. Every time I watch somebody play online or I play somebody online, I see things that you shouldn't be seeing as a remote. You should be seeing some. You're the remote right now, right, Ron?
I'm the remote, yeah.
Yeah. So it's educational for me too. I see some things that can be tweaked here, but again, I don't know how you set it up exactly, but.
Beyond 0 for 1, ground ball to third. Rendon has it over to Ortiz, and David blocks the bag. That Tom Amansky video that Ortiz watched in the dugout really has been beneficial. Rusty Staub is 0 for 1.
Come on, L'Orange.
Ortiz is across from Hernandez and Don Medley.
Oh,
that's gone.
Damon
No, he caught
makes
it.
the catch on the warning track, and Scherzer's hurt. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Now I got to go to my pen.
Yeah, the pen in this game, though, is pretty incredible.
That is pretty incredible. We don't do ketchup on socks. So in comes Pedro. And Pedro will be given time to warm up. And he will bat in the 9 hole. He's got 80 pitches. Petey in 04 as he takes his warm up. 16-9, a 3.90 ERA, which might have been the highest in his career. 33 starts. He did have 1 complete game. 217 innings, 193 hits, 99 runs, 94 earned, 26 homers. He walked 61 and struck out 227.
Still a good year, but for Pedro, it just wasn't.
Yeah,
For
the
Pedro,
ERA is high.
Yeah. I mean, we got spoiled with Pedro. That doesn't seem like he had a bad year, but really, I'd take that from a bunch of guys in this Red Sox team this year coming up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
What
absolutely.
was, what was their rotation in 04? It's Schilling, obviously.
Schilling, who they got, and Pedro,
Lackey?
Wakefield.
No.
Derek Lowe
Derek
Derek
Lowe,
Lowe.
yeah. That's what I was
had a
thinking.
bad regular season, had a great postseason.
Right.
But was the winning pitcher in every postseason clincher.
Yeah.
Bronson Arroyo was their other starter, who Alex Rodriguez tried to slap a ball out of his hand.
Yeah.
Murray
People
homered his first time up.
People forget the 04 Red Sox were frustrating to watch most of the year. Like we remember the ending, but during the year, like they would frustrate. Because one, you're coming off the 03 season, you're already kind of in a bad mood, and then the 04 team was supposed to be the team to do it, which they did. But during the season, they would, they would play beneath their talent at times and get you kind of frustrated there. But they all kind of came together in the end. But
I think the down point was the game at Yankee Stadium as we wait for Seaver to be ready. Damon is 0 for 2, where Jeter's diving in the camera well and blunting his chin while Nomar is sitting in the dugout complaining.
Yeah. Well, that's the column where Shaughnessy wrote in the column. He called them, I think it was in August, or he called them the pack of frauds, the biggest pack of frauds in Red Sox history. He called them. I think it was like in July there.
Shaughnessy always a boatload of sunshine as Damon grounds out. Ortiz
they got in that fight with the Yankees, and they kind of turned around from there.
I was about to say, I think that was the turning point. Was the Veritek A-Rod fight at Fenway?
Yeah. Well, the main thing was the game was to be rained out, and the Red Sox were going to cancel the game because of the weather. And then the Red Sox players, I think they were sick of being booed and getting ripped in the column. They went to Francona, so we want to play. So they had to go back to Torrey and say we want to play. And Torrey was miffed because he had told the Yankees they weren't playing. And so they ended up playing the game. And then, of course, the fight happens. The Red Sox are losing. They come from behind and had to walk off homer against Rivera. Bill Miller does. It kind of turned the season around.
Base hit, right center field. Staub and Bunbury converge. Al does not make a great play, but Ortiz is on second with a double.
Mian would have had that, but he fell asleep because he was listening to that story for 10 minutes.
Manny Ramirez is over 2 with a strikeout. That was a Fox game, by the way.
Yeah. The old Joe Buck.
Fly ball to left. Cleon Jones going back to the track. Cleon speeds things up. Ortiz is not going to tag. Oh, he is going to tag.
There you go. Whoa. 5 tools. 5 tools.
Cook is wondering how he can neuter this team even more. Rendon is 0 for 1 with a walk. Seaver deals. Struck him out, and the Red Sox, I've left on 7, which is Red Sox baseball to a T. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Halfway home on a beautiful day in New York. It's me 1 and Marc 1. So it'll be Jones to Sensei and Grody to face Petey here in the 5th.
No homer announcing there. Me 1, other guy 1.
That's right. And Pedro hits Cleon Jones.
How appropriate.
On at 0-2, and somewhere in Tampa Bay, Gerald Williams wants to get into a fight.
Who is Cleon Jones? That's a picture. Who is Cleon Jones?
If you go back to your discussion earlier, if you ask baseball fans, even our age, who Cleon Jones is, that's a good test to know how big a fan they are. Because a lot of them are not going to know who Cleon Jones is. But if you know who Cleon Jones is, you know who Cleon Jones is. You know all the Cleon Joneses of the 60s and 70s. So it's kind of a good baseball IQ test.
He's more famous than Kareem Garcia. Who is Kareem Garcia?
Petey's ready. So we're going to pinch hit Wayne Garrett at 256, 16 homers and 58 RBI. Lefty versus Petey. There's a fly ball to right. Harper will make the catch, and Jones has to go back. I think. There we go. For Jerry Grody, who's 0 for 1. And are you gonna pinch hit again? Or
I was going to, but I'm not.
okay, go ahead. Oh. Brody swings, popped up left field. Back goes Manny. And Manny will make the catch.
At the warning track.
Yep, warning track power. And there's 2 out. For Bud Harrelson. Bud 0 for 1 with a K.
Clearly, the key to this team is the defense. Manny and Ortiz left in first base.
Throw down to second. Jones, does he steal it?
Got him.
Got him. 32% chance. And so
Harrelson missed the pitch.
Oh, hit and run.
Yeah.
Oh, you need a third baseman.
Yes, I do.
So Seaver waits. It'll Murphy, Harper, and Veritek. And Wayne Garrett is a 4 at third. Murph is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Seaver starts the 6th. Ground ball to Mian. Felix throws to first for the out. For Bryce Harper, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Fly ball, shallow right. Rusty, not Rusty out there, makes the catch, and there's 2 out. For Jason Veritek, who's 0 for 2. You expected the pitching to dominate this game, but really we're in the 6th. We've had 4 hits. Got him. Seaver snorts. Veritek has struck out 3 times today. After 5.5, it's Mr. Juckett 1, Mr. Unger 1. Is that better there, Cook? Harrelson's 0 for 1. He bunts. He makes Ortiz run, but it rolls foul, and it will be a 2-strike count. Up the middle, past Turner for a base hit.
I can't stand Bud Harrelson. I never saw him play, but I just think him as the third base coach, 86 Mets, waving Ray Knight home. I still have bad memories about that.
He was such a great scrappy shortstop. I mean, willing to go toe to toe with Pete Rose.
Yeah,
got to give him credit for that.
Rendon and Harrelson play in for the or Ortiz play for the bunt.
I have a decision to make here.
Yeah, you do.
Especially with the kind of bullpen that we have.
You got another inning though out of Seaver for
No,
sure.
I know I could, but I also have Flanagan I can bring in and I can hit for Seaver.
And it's game 7.
And it's game 7, right? Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Just be careful because Sports Machine says this game's going 18 innings in the chat.
Oh God, no.
I'm not going 18 innings. I'm not going 18. Put it on my computer. I can use the cheat codes. We could be done real quick.
This goes 18 innings, Roger. John Milner is going to pinch hit. 239, 23 homers, and 72 RBI. Ortiz is grateful that he doesn't have to play for the bunt now. And he walked. So Harrelson on second, Milner on first, nobody out for Al Bunbury, who was 0 for 2 with the strikeout. My bullpen ain't that great, so Petey's going to pitch for a while. Bunbury swings, that's into center. Damon, not Matt, it's Johnny, makes the catch, and there's 1 out. Harrelson going to go? Nope. Throw him back
How
in
do
the
you like
turn.
them apples?
For Felix Mian, who's 0 for 2. Harrelson should score on a hit, and we'll find that out right about now. That got past Turner. Manny's got it. Harrelson around third. It's 2-1 Unger. As Mian, we'll hold it first. Okay.
They ran on Manny.
Well, Manny's got a 6 arm. We're still recovering from Manny cutting off Damon's throw in game 1 of the World Series. Staub is 0 for 2. Runners on the corners. Milner on third. Mian on first. Staub boots this one into left field.
Yes,
Out drop in front of Manny.
Yeah, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
And it's now 3-1, Mark. And now Staub went around first, and Ortiz tags him for the out.
Oh.
Ortiz again, Ortiz.
Oh my
Player of the
goodness
He's like,
gracious!
he's like Keith Hernandez out there.
He is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing he's already in Cooperstown. He just builds his legend every time he goes out there.
It's like Hernandez and Mattingly had a baby, and it came out big poppy.
Eddie Murray homered off a Max Scherzer
Exactly
in the
like that.
second.
I'm going to put that in the game. Exactly like that.
1 for 2, fly ball left center field. Bang,
Come on,
turns
goodbye,
and watches
goodbye.
it go. That's on the
Wow.
Pepsi porch.
Eddie
Number
Drink
two.
B. Murray.
So Eddie Murray makes it 5-1 Unger.
Mm.
Can we just all agree I'm the Earl Weaver of managers? Clearly, this was all me. I mean, this is, I had my
You
team
sure
ready
you
to
don't
play.
want to do this as a best of 7, Earl? I'd
Well,
be
actually,
happy to.
I was thinking. Here's what I was thinking. Actually, I don't like the idea of a 1-game baseball because it's baseball, right? So maybe what we'll do, but I do also want to play other games. So maybe what we'll do is we'll bring you back, Ron, and we'll play this again. In fact, we should probably announce that now.
Okay.
You want to make this a 5-game series or a 3-game
Sure.
series?
Yeah.
3 or 5?
We'll do 5.
All right, we'll make it a 5-game series, and we'll spread it out over the course of the next several weeks.
We'll just make it 7 and go up 3 games to nothing. We'll see what happens.
Who am I gonna pull here? I gotta do a
It's
double
going to go
switch.
double or nothing all year long, right?
I don't like Bryce Harper, so we're gonna double switch.
That's a good reason.
Gio Gonzalez, 15-9 and 17, had a renaissance year. He was not well regarded when I took over that job in DC. 32 starts, 201 innings, a 2.96 ERA, 158 pitches. They were so high on Tanner Rourke.
This was his best year, right?
12, I think. He was very good. But 12, I think he was a 20-game winner.
4 points.
69.
But he wasn't with the Nationals then, right?
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was.
Yep. He also did some time with Oakland. 69
I
runs.
thought he played for the
66
Marlins. I'm just making that up, I think.
I don't think he pitched for Miami. No.
Okay.
21 homers, 79 walks, 188 strikeouts. He's a curveball pitcher. Fastball at 90 and a standard pitcher. And I need a right fielder to bat 9th. Cowboy up, dudes. It's Kevin Millar.
Don't let us win tonight.
Don't let us win tonight.
Don't let us win tonight. Put us to bed.
Cleon Jones is over 1. He got hit by a pitch by Pedro Martinez. And Gino struck him out. We're through 6. Huge inning for Marc. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. We go to the 7th. 5-1, Marc.
Oh,
So who's
that's a great
coming in for
start.
Seaver?
No way you can blow this lead. There's no way. I just don't see it happening.
I got to do it.
Jim Palmer, who's a 10 fielder.
Cakes.
Yeah, but it's not game 7 anymore. The rules changed.
Oh, that's true. Oh, wait, actually, that's right.
Right.
All right, Palmer's going to be in my bullpen anyway.
What did you say about Earl Weaver before?
Because my rotation would be
Well, it's an exhibition game. We haven't set anything up. So
and Palmer wouldn't make my rotation anyway because it would be Seaver, Flanagan, probably Matlack.
you got Matlack, who was pretty good in 73.
Maybe Palmer would be my 4th starter. Maybe I'd have to look at the numbers, but Kuzman would be an option, and also actually had a great season. Dennis Martinez for the Orioles.
Oh.
Yeah, you could add some pitchers.
Yeah,
33.
if we're gonna do 7 games, and we should just get like proper rosters for both teams.
I'll even give you color. Palmer is 33, fastball at 84, 10-6 in 79, a 3.30 ERA, which for Jim was pretty high. 20. Must have been hurt. Mark, 22 starts, 7
Yeah, he was.
games.
He was.
155 2/3, 144 hits, 66 runs, 57 earned, 12 homers. Pitch to contact pitcher, 43 walks and 67 strikeouts.
I think people forget that the Orioles blew a 3-1 lead in that World Series. 79.
Yep.
Mhm.
Kevin Millar at 297, 18 homers and 74 RBI. Palmer deals, base hit past Harrelson into left field. I like it better already. You've out hit me 5-4. The Ungers 5 runs, 5 hits, and an error, and they haven't left anybody on.
I saw Jim
Juck-
Palmer like last week. That guy doesn't age at all. Like he's
He's
gonna
what?
be.
He's 83, right?
My wife is 42 and has a crush on him.
Oh, like his corpse will look better than I look right now. Like, I mean, I don't want I'm a little bit
I wasn't
jealous.
going to say anything when you came in, but I'm sure
yeah.
your kids would hope that you take a shower soon.
I know.
Wow. Ron not pulling the punches.
Yeah.
Ron must have Ron. Do you have smell-o-vision also, Ron, or what?
It's amazing what happens with broadband. 1 run for me, 4 hits and no errors, and they left on 7. When he came in and sat down, just looked so exasperated. Pitch to Turner, who's 0 for 2, struck him out. So Palmer got him on at 0-2. Here's Johnny Damon. Johnny 0 for 3. Right to Bud Harrelson. He goes to Murray, and Eddie makes the. Now, what the heck just happened? Was that no?
It's just an out.
It's just an out. But what you didn't see was that Damon chased after Millar down to second base.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
It'll be Ortiz. David is 1 for 2 with a walk, a double, and a strikeout. There's a ground ball to Mian over to Murray, and David is retired. But when you're the defensive genius he is, that's okay. Stretch time, 5-1 Marc. So Garrett, Grody, and Harrelson, and then Palmer's spot to face Gio Gonzalez. Wayne is 0 for 1. Wayne played up in Montreal for a long time, too.
Yeah.
Draws the walk. Is he a threat to steal?
Minor.
Kind of. Full count, missed upstairs. Here's Grody. Now, what's he going to do with Mr. Grody? Going to stay in the ball game. Drops one down. Gio's got it over to Murph, and Grody is retired. Garrett moves to second. Marc playing some small ball. Earl Weaver thrashing in his grave as his 79.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But
Billy
Buddy
Bean-
Harrelson,
Not
Billy
a fan.
Bean is
Not a
like
fan of the
Peter.
bunt.
1 for 2 with a strikeout. Gio is ready. Garrett on second. 1 out. 5-1 Marc.
I'm
We can-
possibly pinch hitting. Possibly. Give
Okay.
me a second. I have to see if I have anybody to play short. I think Dower can play it, but let me check that.
Dave, how many times have you
No,
watched
he
someone
can't.
do multiplayer?
How many times have I
A
watched?
million?
Yeah. No, in recent years, not a lot. I used to watch in the same room a lot, especially testing and things like that. Or when we had leagues at my house and my office at home, I'd watch while other guys were playing and
Okay.
kind of go back to back and watch and get excited about the next game. And I'd take notes down on what had to be changed and things like that. But yeah, so it's fun.
Somebody,
But, in my house, it was always friends and
Right.
family, and they
Somebody-
had no qualms about telling me this was stupid, that's stupid, because you always blame the game. You have to blame the game. You can't blame yourself. It's
Can-
like blaming
can
the
someone-
rest of the football
can
game.
someone
Monday
keep an
morning,
eye-
you have to blame
Can
the
someone
rest.
keep an eye on the chat room on the chat so we don't miss anything? Even if you can't, like, just mention it because I've got my game up. I can't really see it.
Harrelson's going to hit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I
I'm
knew
ready.
that.
There's a ground ball to third. Rendon's got it. Looks Garrett back. Throws to Ortiz. And Harrelson's retired. 2 out. Now, what are you going to do?
Ooh.
Palmer did not hit because he would have played in 79. And pitchers didn't hit. Gio looks over to the Unger dugout while the Brain Trust figures out what they wanted. Oh, he's going to stay in the game. And just kind of stood there and swung on an 0-2. After 7, no runs, no hits, and you finally left on a runner. It took you 7 innings. 5-1 Unger.
I did have 2 thrown out on the base paths though.
Yeah, but still, I've left on 8. It is so 80s Red Sox to do that. We're not even playing 80s Red Sox. Manny Ramirez 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fly ball left field. Jones will turn and watch that go.
Mm.
That's what I
However,
get for letting Palmer hit.
Manny kind of pulls a Jimmy Pearsall, runs about 18,000 different ways, and finally goes there. So it's 5-2, and Rendon is 0 for 2. We won't show the replay. Palmer's ready. There's a ground ball to Harrelson, who makes a great play over to Murray, and Rendon is retired. So 1 out for Daniel Murphy. Murph is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Right back to Palmer, third base side over to Murray, and Murph is retired. So 2 out, and now I got to make a pinch hitter because Gio isn't hitting. Let's see. Who can hit a Palmer? Bill Miller.
Oh,
He's got to be the only man in history to win the batting title out of a 9-hole.
Yeah.
Didn't do it in 04. He did it in 03. He hit 283 in 04, 12 homers and 57 RBI.
He also hit a home run from both sides of the plate in the same inning in 03.
That's pretty amazing.
Against the Rangers, I think it was in Texas.
Base hit left center field. Jones will, and Bunbury can't get there, and Bill is in the second standing. Jason Varitek. I can't pull Jason Varitek, can I?
No, that's a crime. You can't do that.
I really can't. Varitek has struck out 3 times today. Palmer will stay in the game. Earl Weaver has found his carton at Chesterfield's, watching Palmer out of the pen. Pitch to Varitek. There's a ground ball to first. Murray's got it. They take it to themselves, and he's out on a bang-banger. So that'll do. I need a new pitcher. We go to the bottom of the 8th. I get a run on 2 hits on the solo homer from Manny Ramirez. Mark 5, me 2. Wasn't that a Chrysler item? Let's see. I guess I got to go with Curtis. Schilling, former Oriole.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, if we're doing a 7-game series, you're going to want him as one of your starters.
Probably, but we're going to set up a schedule for that, which will do proper fatigue.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is just an exhibition game. And then we can do the best.
No. Let's be very clear. This is game 1. let's be extremely clear on this.
Start the series, and whoever wins this is up 1 game.
It's
right?
just an exhibition.
So
It'll
rain for a few days afterwards. How's that?
Okay. All right, we'll figure it out.
Schilling went 21-6 with Boston in 2004. It really was the driving force that got them the World Series. 3.26 ERA, 226 2/3, 206 hits, 23 homers. He walked 35 and struck out 203. He was 37 in 04 and throws a
I didn't realize
splitter.
that.
Wow.
And has a Bugs Bunny fastball at 84. Bunbury 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Fly ball, left field. Manny will make the catch. And there's 1 out for Mian, who's 1 for 3, a single and an RBI. Red Sox have, I have left on 9 runners tonight.
Give me a second here. Okay.
The Cowboy is not up.
USA is losing to Italy right now, 3-0.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And what makes it worse is Jorge Posadas, the bench coach for Italy. I had nothing against Italy. I just saw that and I realized, I was like, wait, no, I don't like Italy at all.
You're a funny man.
Hip, hip, Jorge. John, let it be Lowenstein will pinch hit. He hit 254, 11 homers. The cat is now upset that I'm not cuddling with her, and he's driven in 34.
You know how you have like guys that you just love as players, but they weren't great players. There was something about them.
Oh, but
John
certainly
Lowenstein is like that guy for
role
me.
role
one of
player
them.
extraordinaire. Didn't he?
Lowenstein's the opposite for me. Lowenstein was a Brewer killer in the 70s, so just the
Oh,
opposite for me.
yeah, sure.
Didn't he walk off a game against the Angels in the playoffs?
He might have. I don't remember it, but it's quite possible. It was the two-headed monster of Lowenstein and Renicky that I remember.
I love Jody Reed. I don't know. I just love Jody
Me
Reed.
too.
Catcher,
Love
right?
Popped him up. Murphy makes the grab. 2 out for Rusty Staub. 1 for 3. Is this where we say Singleton?
I'm thinking about it. Nah, sticking with Staub.
Up the middle. Turner's got it over to Ortiz. And that'll do. We go to the 9th. Jim Palmer needs 3 outs and a second baseman. The Ungers 5. The Juckets 2. And my biggest fan left. It'll be Tim Stoddard coming in to close this one out. And Rich Dower to play second. Dower's a 7. Stoddard, 1.71 ERA, 3-1, 3 saves, 58 innings, 44 pitches or hits, 3 homers. He walked 19 and struck out 47. Stoddard is 26-79, a hard thrower at 95, and a ground ball pitcher. That looks like a driver's license photo, doesn't it?
For Millar.
No, for Stoddard.
Actually, on my game, I actually have.
Oh, do you actually? Okay.
Yeah, I've got a really good card for him.
Millar popped him up. Bumbry into center field. That's well hit. Makes the catch, 1 out. So 3 to tie, 4 to go ahead. Trey Turner will hit. He's 1 for 3. He has walked and stolen a base. Stoddard deals. Ground ball to Murray. Eddie takes it to the bag, and Turner's retired. So last chance saloon. Oops, I gotta wait for you. There we go. Move it. Ryan Zimmerman will pinch hit. Ryan at 303, 36 homers, 108 RBI. The first player ever drafted by the Washington Nationals.
That's right.
Popped him up. Harrelson is going to give the Ungers a game 1 win. So here's the final score. Oops. That's interesting. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Ungers. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for me. What you're not seeing is the injured Max Scherzer. Pedro Martinez takes the loss. 2 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs all earned. He gave up the homer to Murray. He walked 1 and struck out 1. Seaver, 6 innings, 3 hits, an unearned run. He walked 4 and struck out 7. Jim Palmer kept his shorts on, 2 innings, 3 hits. The run was earned. The homer from Manny, he struck out a batter, and Stoddard, a 1-2-3. 9th inning, 3 hours and 8 fake minutes. And you got to say, the player of the game is going to be Eddie Murray. He went 2 for 3. He drove in 3 of the 5 runs.
Sure.
And scored twice.
By the way, Berra and Weaver are co-managing, and they just gave each other a very disgusting hug. I'll leave it there.
Good to know.
That was a
So
blast.
there you go.
Good.
That was an absolute blast.
That was
Dave, your
fun.
game is so good. It's so
Yeah, good
visual,
managing, guys.
so accurate. It was a really, really fun game.
Good. That's nice to hear. That's fun to see.
Cool.
Looking forward to the real series, though, right?
No.
Yeah, that game didn't count.
To be
That
very
game didn't
clear,
count.
it's 1-0 me.
That was
Let's
a grapefruit
never,
league game right
ever
there.
forget that. Let's never forget that.
That was grapefruit league action.
There you go.
Hey,
All right,
when I
well,
was a
hey
kid-
guys. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I think it was a great first live stream, and I can't wait to do more of these.
That was great.
Very good.
Say goodnight to everybody. Take care,
Uh,
everybody. Please tell
Italy's
your
up
friends about us.
5-0.
I saw
Italy's
that.
ahead. Yeah.
Who's
Wow.
on their team?
They've got Jack Caglione. They've got Ryan Teal. They've got
So the heavy hitters.
they've got who's the guy that homered? They got a few major leaguers.
They said 2 of the home runs were hit by White Sox players.
Yeah, Kyle Teal is one of them.
Yeah.
And then Jack Caglione, who's a big time
Kansas
college, yeah, Royal guy. But I saw him play in college. He played for the Gators down here in Florida, SEC. I saw him play in person.
Who's pitching for the USA?
Ryan Yarbrough's
That's
in now. I
staff
forgot who
is-
started. I think
That staff is like stacked.
yeah. It's not. I'm trying to think who started for USA. Was it Boyd? No. I'm gonna look and see. But
All right,
They're down
guys. Let's
5-0,
call it a
but-
night.
all right, guys, it was fun.
Yes, it was
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun. Thanks
Very
again,
good.
Dave. And
Very
I'm
good.
going to end
Good
this
night, guys.
stream. And take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for playing with our game too.
Absolutely. Bye bye.
Bye now.
Right.
Ah.